What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel and our Cleveland Browns franchise. We've made it to the end of Season 1, well, the regular season, and the Browns, we have ended the season 3-13, which puts us as one of the worst teams in the league. Here we will go down to the bottom and see that we are tied with the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3-13 on the season. So we will have a top 2 pick, and based on my research, it comes down to conference wins, and that would be the AFC, and we are both 2-10. And then if that is a tie, it moves on to division wins, and we only have 1, whereas the Jaguars have 2. So I believe we, the Cleveland Browns, will be getting the number 1 pick in the draft. Not sure about that. We'll have to find out in the live stream, which will be this Tuesday, tomorrow, at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, live streaming on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MaddenBallerz. So go over there, follow me on Twitch. You'll be notified when I go live, and we will do up the offseason of year 1, season 1 for the Cleveland Browns. We have a lot of decisions to make for this team and for the roster. Let's first go in and take a look at our roster real quick here. I believe we have a lot of decisions to make cap-wise because we are strapped for money on this team. You see at quarterback we have Johnny Manziel. He started most of the year when he was not injured. We have Josh McCown, Connor Shaw. And let's actually get out of here and go into the salary section and look at our roster this way, because this is going to show what we have. Right now, we have $25.2 million in cap space. That is obviously going to change because a lot of people here are going to be free agents. We've got, it looks like, quite a few people that are going to be up here in free agency. So we're going to want to know if we want to re-sign these people. But beyond that, we want to know if we want to keep some of these people around. Josh McCown, he played some this season, but he was a lot of the time third string after Connor Shaw had to come in and take over and did good. But he's got a $14 million contract, 2 years remaining. We might want to look at trading him. You're not going to pay your third string quarterback that much money. Also, Connor Shaw played really well. He is going to be up here. Do we want to re-sign him? Johnny Manziel, did he play good enough to stay on this roster? He had a lot of accuracy issues this year. Turned the ball over, I believe. He had 13 or 14 interceptions on the season. We'll take a look in a minute. We also have questions at running back. Terrence West, I think he cemented himself as our starting back. We also got Duke Johnson, who comes in and is good in the receiving game. So that leaves Isaiah Crowell expendable. We may not have to re-sign him. We may be able to trade him. I don't know if... I don't get this 1 year remaining. Does that mean I'm re-signing him after this season, after the playoffs? I'm not sure how that completely works. But if we don't have to re-sign him, he's probably not coming back. Fullback, we need to find someone new there. Do we want to re-sign Josh Gordon? He wants a hefty sum, and I'm not sure we want to pay him. He is young and talented, but he does have his off-the-field issues. Also, Dwayne Bowe, a $12.5 million contract with a year remaining. Do we want to re-sign him? He's getting older. We also have Brian Hartline up there, getting $6 million a year. Andrew Hawkins getting $12.2 million a year, or total. Sorry, these are not yearly. And then you've got the young guy here, Malin. I think that's how you say his name. He was good when we inserted him in the last 2 weeks. We also have Barnage up here. He's going to want some money. He was, I believe, second in receiving on our team. So we have a lot of issues here, and we're paying a lot of money to people. Joe Thomas, he's got an $80 million contract, 2 years remaining. We've got a lot of issues cap-wise, I believe, on this team that we need to deal with and decide what players should stick around. But let's first start with a look at the team or season player stats for the season. And we'll start with the passing game. Connor Shaw had the best rating for quarterback on our team, was 69. That's not good at all. 518 yards passing. McCown 870, and Johnny Manziel 1,634 yards passing. 8 touchdowns, 6 for McCown, 3 for Connor Shaw, and you can see 4 interceptions for Shaw, 8 for McCown, and 14 for Johnny Manziel. So he was very inaccurate this season, and his long was 53. That might have been on a nice end of half play against the Steelers, maybe. Not sure. But he took 35 sacks, probably not the most in the league. So he completed 135 passes. His completion percentage, 46%. So Connor Shaw completed 56, where the other two completed 46. And you can see their yards per attempt and their yards per game here. So Connor Shaw, really, with the time he had in there, outplayed both these other guys. Looking at the running game here, Terrence West led the way. 191 attempts, 869 yards on the season, 4.5 yards per carry. The most on the team for someone with more than 10 rushes. Crowell, 3.9. Duke Johnson, 4. Manziel, 4.3. 5 touchdowns for West, 4 for Crowell, and 3 for Duke Johnson. He averaged 54.3 per game. He had a couple games there where he went over 100, so he was doing good there. He had 3 fumbles, though. That was his issue when we had him in there starting, were fumbles, and he got bounced for either Johnson or Crowell. So there is an issue with fumbling with Terrence West, but I think he has cemented himself as the top back for our team. Receiving, Josh Gordon, 72 catches, 897 yards, 8 touchdowns. Barnage, the tight end, second with 47. Only 1 touchdown. Andrew Hawkins, 376 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Dwayne Bowe, 439 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Crowell, not much there. Terrence West reeled in 2 touchdown catches. And other than that, not a lot going on in this receiving game. So this may be an area we need to look at in free agency, in the draft. Who knows? Blocking. Who gave up the most sacks? Joe Thomas, 10. Alex Mack, 8. John Greco, 8. And so forth here. Defense. Carlos Dansby led the way with 162 tackles. He was very good this season. Whitner with 154. Gibson, definitely someone I want to re-sign. Had 145 tackles. Who led the way with tackles for loss? That would be Dansby with 17. Mingo, 15. Whitner, 14. Paul Kruger, 11. Craig Robertson, 10. Chris Kirksey, who was injured for some of the year, 8. And so forth here. Who led the way in sacks? It was Barkevius Mingo, 18, which I think this number is wrong for some reason, because I remember one of the late games he got a sack and they said it was number 10. So I'm not sure he really got 18, but no one else above 10. Paul Kruger with 8.5, Randy Starks with 4.5, Dansby with 4, John Hughes with 4, and a few here with 1. So if Barkevius really did get those 18 sacks, impressive. Interceptions, that was Kawan Williams. He was not even a starter to start the year, and he just came on and did a great job and took over for Tramon Williams, who was second in interceptions with 4. Also, Whitner with 4, and Tayshaun Gibson with 4. Joe Hayden had 3. Justin Gilbert had 2, and a bunch here with 1. So we got quite a few interceptions, and we'll take a look at, well, catches allowed. Who allowed the most catches? It's not going to tell me. Okay, who had the most deflections. That would be Kwan Williams. So, forced fumbles. We only had 2 forced fumbles in 1, and we recovered 2. So, not good. We need to recover. We need to force more fumbles, 1, and we need to recover those fumbles as well. So, Campbell and Orchard forced those fumbles, and they're recovered by Williams and Williams. So, there you go for the team stats. Nothing really here. We need to see Williams did return 1 for a touchdown. So we will now go ahead and take a look at the team stats for the season. It wasn't pretty for the Browns. You can see offense here. Total yards. Browns were dead last. 4,602 total offensive yards. Passing game, we were dead last behind the Rams by almost 300, just under 300, 299 yards. Rushing, we were actually pretty good. We were not last. We were kind of in the middle of the pack here, somewhere between 10 and 15. So, not bad rushing, 1,996 yards. Points per game, we were dead last by 0.1 over the Jaguars. 17.2 points per game. Not good. We had a stretch there where we were scoring 30, mid-20s, and then, but those, sometimes we get in those grooves where we were getting beat down like the Seattle game, 45-7. Passing touchdowns, we only had 17. We had 12 rushing touchdowns. First downs, we were not last, but we were in the bottom 10. Defensive, total yards allowed. I think our defense was actually pretty good. Let's take a look here. Looks like middle of the pack maybe. Yep, middle of the pack. 6,117 total yards allowed. Passing game, we actually probably, we didn't do too bad here. 3,493 yards passing. I thought it would be worse than this actually, because we had a stretch there where quarterbacks were throwing for 300 plus, and that was like a 5-game stretch when we got in that 6-game losing streak. Rush yards allowed. We gave up the most rush yards. We had a horrible time at the end of the season against the rushing game. Carlos Hyde went for over 200 against us. Also, who was it? Le'Veon Bell went for over 100. We had a stretch there where 3 or 4 people went for over 100, close to 200. So, points allowed. We allowed the second most, 465 points allowed. Sacks, what about sacks here? We're in the bottom part here for sacks allowed, I believe, so 42. Fumble recoveries, where do we stack up in fumble recoveries? Last. Interceptions, we were first with 26, tied for first with the Chargers with 26 interceptions. So there you go. The stats, the team stats. Just to recap the season, though, let's go and take a look at the schedule real quick here. And we will look, actually we want the team schedule. And it opened up, we don't want preseason, opened up with a loss to the Jets 27-6. Then it was the Titans beating us down 30-0. We came back against the Raiders and lost a close one 30-24. Chargers on the road, we lost 35-28. So we were within a touchdown in these 2 games. Then we took on the Ravens on the road and beat them 32-17. Took on the Broncos' high-powered offense and beat them 16-6. Then we lost a close one to the Rams 20-13 against the Cardinals. That was a back-and-forth game, and we ended up losing that one in the last minutes 33-30. And then we took on the Bengals, who beat us down 37-7. Steelers pounced us 41-17. Then the rematch against the Ravens, they took it by 3. The Bengals beat us again 29-13. The 49ers beat us 32-17. The Seahawks beat us down 45-7. The Chiefs took it to us 31-3. And the Steelers rematch, well, they beat us 37-20. So that's how the season went for the Browns. Lots of things to do to this roster. And one more thing before I end this video is we are going to take a look at the awards. And I'm not sure where exactly I go for this. We will find it here in a minute. And we don't want stat. It's probably under here. Stats, awards. And we're going to go yearly. And let's take a look here in the NFL. Your MVP, Aaron Rodgers. Let's go back here. Phillip Rivers, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, Andy Dalton, all there. Coach of the Year, Mike Tomlin, Mike McCarthy right behind him, Ron Rivera behind him. And let's go to the NFC here real quick. Offensive Player of the Year, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson right behind him. Luke Kuechly, your Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jameis Winston. Wow, Kevin White right behind him, along with Cameron Artis-Payne and Todd Gurley, fourth. Wow. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Demarius Randall. Wow, for the Packers, Jalen Collins from the Falcons and Stephon Anthony from the Saints. Best quarterback, Rodgers. Best running back, Lacey. Best wide receiver, Julio Jones. Best offensive lineman, TJ Lang. Best D lineman, Everson Griffin for the Vikings. Best linebacker, Kuechly. Best defensive back, Brandon Boykin. Best kicker, Graham Gano. And there you go for the NFC. AFC, Offensive Player of the Year goes to Phillip Rivers, Peyton Manning second, Dalton third, and Tom Brady fourth, Jamal Charles fifth. Defensive Player of the Year, Lawrence Timmons for the Steelers. Donald Butler behind him, along with Avery Williamson. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marcus Mariota. So the top two picks in the draft take the Offensive Rookies of the Year in their respective conferences. Melvin Gordon second, Jay Ajayi third, Amari Cooper fourth. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Bud Dupree for the Steelers, Marcus Peters second, and Kevin Johnson third. Best quarterback, Rivers, of course. Best running back, Charles. Best wideout, Emmanuel Sanders for the Broncos. Best O-line, Marshall Yanda for the Ravens. Best D-line, Cameron Wake. Best linebacker, Avery Williamson. Best defensive back, Brandon Flowers. Best kicker, Randy Bullock. And there you go. I just want to take a quick look here and see where our linebackers ended up fifth. Barkevius Mingo ended up fifth in the best linebacker. What about best DB here? We had six. Kwan Williams, six. So we got some guys up there, but not at the top. There is a look at the awards. Again, like I said, we have a lot to think about here on this team and what we want to do with the players on it, who we want to trade. We obviously have a top two pick, and we can get a quarterback maybe with that. That was my first thought, but I may change my mind with that, and I'll get all your guys' input during the live stream, or you can leave it in the comments down in this video. But there's a lot to do on this team to shore up cap space and get players that will be good at their positions. So, once again, the live stream will be Tuesday, January 12th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MaddenBallerz. You can check it out there. Link will be in the description of this video. I will make an announcement video Tuesday, a few hours before I go live. I'm expecting it to take 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in there, to go through all of re-signing, free agency, and the draft. We got a lot to do. Leave your comments down below what we need to do with this team to make it competitive next year. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel and are excited for the year 1 off-season live stream, hit that subscribe button. And as always, you can follow me over on Twitter at MaddenBallerz, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.